And something. There's a group of women who do OnlyFans. And I'm not talking about if you just take a photo, but there's a group of people, and this is important. There's a group of women who do OnlyFans who gloats about having a body count of 1,000, who gloats about literally even being shitted on for Chanel and Birkin bags and on a yacht. There are women who gloat about having customers that they shit on. There are women who just say bizarre things, and a lot of these women are either robots or government federal agents pretending to do these things, because at the end of the day, like, we're not following these women. We don't know who they are, what they're doing in their daily lives. I don't know what they do. I don't follow them. I don't live with them. I don't know them. So you can't prove that they even say the things that they're doing, the things that they do. And they are hired by the government satanic global cult to pretend like the West is demoralized because Satanists, there is like a garbage truck outside, but the Satanists, the way that Satanism works is that they can't just do things to you. If they wanted to take away your rights, if they wanted to do things to you, they would have done it, but they need you to agree and accept it, so they could be like, oh, we told you who we are, so now it's your fault, you agree to this. That's why they're making these podcasts, so you can like see like, oh, look how bad these women are. Well, there's also a lot of women who have regular jobs, who still love men, who are getting married, who are having children. Sometimes they're not getting married now at like 18 and like even 20. They're waiting a little bit more. Sometimes they have a baby from like 16 or 18 or 20, and then they're taking care of themselves. They have a business, and they have a strict set of rules for what kind of man, for their own safety, not the bizarre ones, which I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But they have a strict set of rules for their health, for their children, for their family, and for their a grown adult with a business now, so they understand what kind of man they really genuinely need, right? So and to be honest with you, a lot of the statistics are, I don't really trust statistics to that degree. So at the end of the day, I keep seeing a lot of women and men together. I keep still seeing women and men in love. I keep seeing women and men getting married and having children and having babies. I even see women all over the TV who have a job. And you want to know something? If you're a stay-at-home wife but you do have social media, that's still a job. And in general, women are still even gladly, proudly cooking for their husbands. But you cooking for your man does not mean you need to give up your rights to the satanic cult who wants to do satanic rituals on men and women, right? But the point is, these women, a lot of them are fake government federal agents, and the real women are the ones who say they don't care for a rich man. The real women are the ones who say they care to be pleased in the bedroom. That's a big flag that they're real. And the ones who are not, like, Pearl, don't piss me off. But you know what? I feel like a lot of people don't understand something. So let me tell you what's actually going on. And think about the Mandela effect as proof of what I'm saying. Because please, no. Understand what the Mandela effect is. The government has some kind of technology that can change a restaurant's name. You could remember it being one way, and then all of a sudden it's a different way. You think maybe they changed the name, or they're trying to do some advertisement, and in reality it always was like that, which you know that it wasn't, and you know you're not crazy. And a lot of people remember. So if they have that technology, the government admitted they have aliens, there's already holograms and whatever. So clearly the government is hiding technology from us. And my point, the reason why I'm bringing this up when it comes to her videos, a lot of the jobs that the men do, you don't need to do it. That's a satanic ritual on you, because a lot of the jobs that men do, that is because the government is not giving y'all technology. So actually, a lot of the jobs, this is not to put men down. We need men. We love men, blah, 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 blah. But a lot of the jobs that y'all do, like that she's talking about, like, oh, if women's job stopped, society will function. But if men's job stops, society would not function. Well, the societal functional jobs that the men do are satanic rituals. Because let me give you one example. You could call me whatever you want to call me. Remember Mandela effect, and remember the government already admitted there's aliens. So I'm just going to tell you this. For one example that I know to be you argue with your mom, I don't care. But when it comes to, like, imagine like a man is building a job. You don't, a city, or not a job, but like a city or a building. You don't need to build it because they have hologram technology that they press a button and a city can appear. Yes, they have that level technology, and they're never going to tell you that. They will call me crazy. They will call me whatever, but that's just one example. You don't need to build buildings. You don't need to build railroads. You don't need to build trains. You don't even need trains. We have teleportation that they're not giving us access to. So whatever she wants to say about, oh well, men's jobs, yeah, well, the men's jobs are satanic rituals, so that's just what it is. So Pearl, please go away somewhere. No, it's a new idea because the traditional wife is has to do with a man going to the factory and a woman staying home, and how back in the day there was no factories. You see how they twist these things? My question to all the red pill people, where majority of y'all are government federal agents and a bunch of y'all are worked in the army. Some of y'all are just idiot robots, of course. But my question to you is, how come? No, you can't get away with this now. So how come you all pretend that when women want equal rights, that it's not about the satanic, horrific rituals and laws that are weaponized and legalized on men and women, mainly women, of course. I'm not going to talk about this here because I'm not ready to talk about this, but there is a horrific satanic offense that happens to women. It's a satanic ritual that happens to them. Some people might kind of guess what I'm talking about. I'm not ready to talk about this here, but there is the worst satanic ritual that happens to women overseas that is unspeakable, unimaginable. No, I have no comment. I have no words. I can't believe it even happens. And the thing is that it's very suspicious how every one of y'all who are like, no, give up your rights, yeah, you're just gonna be a happy stay-at-home wife. In no point in time, in no historical time where the woman had no rights, there was never a time when satanic, horrific rituals and deadly, detrimental, horrific things were not happening to women. Every single time a society where women have no rights, the most horrific, disgusting, unspeakable, and unimaginable things are happening to women, where they want to escape not men, but they want to escape the government's rule over them. So my question is, how come you guys are just pretending? Like, it's actually downright creepy, actually. Like, you, ma'am, like, the fact that you are like, oh, but it was it was just the traditional. It's actually a new concept because you were just, going home to your husband and you were getting kids. No, in America, just in America alone, women were getting lobotomized. What Britney's father did to her, men were able to kind of like in some way do to them what happened to Kanye. Also, he's a man, I know, but like that's what I'm saying. Satanic societies affect men and women. But yeah, like, how come you are all pretending like you will just be a happy stay-at-home wife? How come? In societies where women wanted freedom and equal right and equal treatment, it wasn't to equal pay to be like a man. It wasn't to compete with a man. It wasn't to pretend they're stronger than men. It was just the fact that satanic rituals in America and in other countries even worse are weaponized and legalized against women and men all over the world. So if in a society where women have no rights to even go outside by themselves, in a society where women have no rights to work, in a society where, I'm not going to talk in this video, but there's a ritual that happens to women that is the most spiritual offense that happens to them in those societies as well. I'm not going to talk about it here, but in general, in general, a society where women have no rights, it's a satanic society full of satanic rituals that are weaponized and legalized against men and women, mainly women, of course. But basically, what I have noticed, a lot of the red pill men, whenever you have a point that you are correct about, they have these trained responses designed to confuse you, and it makes no sense. Here's the thing that I would tell to him about this society or whatever. Well, animals, think about animals, right? They don't have the human conscience, but even they have specific rules and order that they just naturally know. There's no court for the animals. There's no laws for the animals, but they kind of like biologically and like their own soul wise understand how they need to participate in their society. But we are humans and we have the conscious ability and the conscious understanding on how to participate in society. And whatever word vomit and word nonsense and word yodeling that he did, he did not win the argument at all. This is what the red pill men do. They have these trained responses that they have orchestrated and designed to confuse you. But what she was trying to basically what she's trying to say is that there of course should be um, a lot of rules and moral etiquette and behavior, that you should be able to go outside and like not be attacked in the street. You should be able to go outside and not have scary things happen to you. And you know that also adds into the robots and the clones, because some of the extreme scary behaviors that happens to people are by robots and clones. People do not behave in that manner. So this thing that he's trying to confuse and trying to like, oh well, what do you, everyone has a different moral standard and everybody's preference. I don't listen, I don't even, I wouldn't even argue with him. I would just, what I would just tell him is, I don't care about your trained responses, and as humans we all know there's a specific type of etiquette that we are supposed to have so the streets can be safe, so that a society can be in order. And if he says, well, what is society order, if you are a grown adult, my response to him, if you're a grown adult and you do not understand you do not have a general understanding of what is positive and normal and moral behavior and social behavior and etiquette of people outside, and you think that etiquette depends on the person and their moral whatever word jumble he said, then as an adult you shouldn't be allowed to participate in society. If it is that difficult, if you are, well, I know he has trained responses, but in general, if it would be that difficult for people to grasp the concept of what it is to be morally outside and what a moral standard for outside is, like, we as humans have a conscience and a collective understanding of what is moral and not, because that's how we're made. That's what a society is. That's what an intellectual society is. Men, here's a word of advice. It actually is important to please a woman in the bedroom. One reason why, I mean, I can't believe I would even have to give a reason why it's important to please a woman back who you are, like, you're both naked in bed. A man and a woman, like, you put your thing inside the woman, right? So you already have an intimate connection like that. And I can't believe I can't believe I actually have to sit down and explain that, yes, it is important to reciprocate pleasing the person back. However, men, just a word of advice. The men who tell you it's not important are satanic government agents from a global cult. It is a satanic ritual to not please the woman back, because the woman, what we are, and it's in all the religious books, and it's just scientifically proven too, we have a portal to heaven. And when we give birth, the reason why the birth is so significant to a woman, not to a man, because sperm and egg is 50-50, is that when we give birth, the portal to heaven, an actual portal, opens up and God sends the souls through us, right? So all the men who are saying it's not important to please a woman, those are satanic government agents. And you don't know this because I don't know, like, you're not in the government, you're not in a satanic cult, but what you don't know is that it's a satanic ritual, and the Satanists know that. So before you're like, oh, it's not important, blah blah blah, and you think that you think that you're large and in charge, and you're like, oh well, you know, it's not important, I don't really care. Yeah, you're committing a satanic ritual. The Satanists know this, you don't, but the satanic cults, they know that it's a satanic ritual. It is a disrespect to the Lord, because the Lord in heaven, when he creates a man and sends through the portal his soul through the portal of a woman, the Lord wouldn't create or program a man who would have the thought to disrespect the organ that he sends the souls from. So that is a big fu to the Lord. And women, please stop saying it's not important, because that's like you agreeing and accepting to do a satanic ritual. And stop saying that it's more important for you to have a rich man than someone who pleases you, because that's kind of like two sins. You're being paid for personal time with your man. It's kind of like you're being paid for, and you do a satanic ritual, so it's two satanic rituals at once. So it is important, and the reason why you're told it's not is because Satanists from a global cult want you to participate in a mockery of the Lord. I've just made a video on this, but something that's very suspicious to me about the ick list is through the entire ick list and all the I'm gonna call them federal government agents and AI robot videos, fake videos. And by the way, small disclaimer, AI is way better than you think it is. If you think the government is being honest to you about the technology they have and that we're creating, yeah, they're lying to you. AI is way better than you can even imagine, right? But anyways, so the thing that's suspicious to me about the ick list is that not one woman said that it's important for her to find a man who knows what he's doing in the bedroom. And a lot of women seem to be complaining. There's so many women who are complaining that it's an epidemic and a problem that men don't make them finish, to such extent that they literally, I have seen multiple women on interviews and podcasts saying that they actually are not they're 0% attracted to women. I'm not talking, if you're a woman and you're attracted to another woman, this is not about you, this is nothing to do with you, you're not a part of the conversation. There are women who claimed and have admitted they have 0% attraction to women, but because men don't know what they're doing, they feel like they will be satisfied with another woman, even if they don't like them. And they don't even go, I'm not gonna go deep into this, please don't attach this like this conversation to this, but the woman that they claim to be with are girly women themselves. Now I have noticed that a lot of times when in the relationships of like the two women, it's usually like a manly woman and like a girly woman, and like the manly woman, they're like a dangerous category. I don't want to talk but like they don't have like that experience where like, oh, they went to the bar and they met like a little stud and then they changed their life. No, they still say like, hey, they say that they don't like women at all. They genuinely prefer 100% man. They're 100% straight, but they literally go for men. I mean, they literally go for girly women that they're not attracted to, because men seem to not know what they're doing. They don't know how to make a woman finish. So it's just a little bit strange to me how on the ick list is not, they didn't mention that. So that's how I believe a lot of these women were federal government agents or computer computer program, because they didn't say the most important thing. So men just know a woman don't dislike you. It's a bunch of federal government agents. Women do not hate men. Federal government agents, for majority of them from the red pill, who are either federal government agents or they have worked or currently work in the army, are saying and claiming that women are out of control and that they don't like men, they don't respect men, that they're only looking for 6 foot tall, 6 figures, blah blah blah, and they ignore men, they don't like men, they're not dating men, they're not marrying men, they don't respect men. And there's a lot of women who claim that that is true. They go online and they talk shit about men. They say just these, they say the ick list was just, you want to know something that's how I know the woman who gave the ick list was either AI or federal government agents, because not one of them said it's an ick where a man doesn't know how to please a woman in the bedroom. For some reason it's not important, and it is important to women that the Lord made. It is important, and it is important for men to know how to do that, because we have the God-given bodily function and program. So even if you don't need to be pleased in order to get pregnant, because that's 2 separate bodily functions, but if the Lord gave us the bodily function, then we do need it. Anyways, and men who the Lord creates in heaven and sends through the souls through us, God wouldn't program and create a man with the thoughts that you don't need to please a woman. It's really not that hard. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is, women don't hate men. It's a bunch of government federal agents. It's a bunch of government federal agents who are paid by the satanic cult to make a global divide between men and women, because all those abuse of men, all those like misogynistic rules and laws, or the patriarchy or whatever, that's a satanic society. That's not a male dominated society, that's a satanic society. And the women who are screaming all over the internet how they hate men and the ick list, which made no sense. I mean, some of them are like funny and some of them are really manly man wouldn't do, but at the end of the day, like through the entire ick list, not one of them said that like you need to know what you're doing. Because listen, I don't care what you have. I don't care if you're a butterfly. I don't care if you're a fairy. I don't care if you have a yacht, a globe, a dimension. If you not only don't know what you're, if you don't look like you know what you're doing, and like some people, people have a look that they know that it's gonna be a good time when you sleep with them, if you know what I mean. If you don't even look like you know, I'm not gonna talk to you. I don't care. You could have planets, boats, cult's dimensions, I don't care. Like, that's worthless, meaningless, valueless, purposeless, and not important to me personally. And the fact that like no woman put that on her ick list, like, it's a little suspicious and government agent.